I'm sweaty.
I feel like we can run the table. I really do.
Giants looking for a stop. They're going to air it out. Rodgers does this better than anybody. End zone, Cobb, touchdown! Unbelievable! This to send the Packers into the NFC Championship game. It is good! The Packers are moving on. Aaron Rodgers has done it again.
Grassy Posse Packer Nation! Welcome to another episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I am your host, Tom Grassi, and holy crap, what a game that was, and a game that looked like I was going to be drinking an inordinate amount of alcohol. Turns out I'm going to still drink an inordinate amount of alcohol, but in celebration, not depression, because the Green Bay Packers have won in overtime against the Cincinnati Bengals 27-24, and wow, I mean, a lot happened in this game. Rodgers gets his first overtime win. Overtime has always been a problem because they always lose on the very first drive and they never get the ball. And as soon as that game went into overtime and the Bengals won the coin toss, the PTSD really started kicking in. But our defense held out, and Rodgers, oh man, caught him offside. Geronimo with a 73-yard catch. Holy crap, that was some ending. Before we break down the game, let's talk about what else happened in the NFC North, because it was quite a day. The Minnesota Vikings getting the win, just spanking. Stephon Diggs having an amazing day. In Case Keenum, of all people, having a great day as well. So obviously, we're in the twilight zone. Sam Bradford doesn't seem to be injured that long. He'll probably be back next week, if not next week, the week afterwards. The Bears also won in overtime. So both teams going into Thursday from overtime matchups. They beat the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road. Again, I picked the Bears to lose, so I was pretty surprised. The Steelers are a worse team on the road, but I mean, the Bears, they pulled it out. And then let's talk about the Lions real quick. I don't mean to laugh, because every time I interview a Lions fan on this show, they're just something always happens. It's the refs, it's a botched play, it's a Hail Mary with 0 time left on the clock. And I gotta say, this was BS, and I feel bad for all you Lions fans out there. And I know that means nothing coming from me, but you guys got screwed today. And I was pulling for the Lions because I wanted the Falcons to drop, but yeah, a last second, they had 11 seconds left by the time Golden Tate caught the ball. I thought he was over. He wasn't. Then there was a 10-second runoff, and all of a sudden there was no time left on the clock. They couldn't run another play. A rule change that'll probably be changed by next year, but that doesn't help you guys this year. So my condolences. That sucks. Whenever the refs are the ones who decide who wins the game, that's never a good thing. Let's talk about this game, because for the first half, I took notes, and it was just out of anger, and it was disgusting first half. And you could see the injuries, they really made a difference. I mean, you didn't have Cobb, you didn't have Daniels, you didn't have Bakhtiari. Good God, that offensive line. Bulaga re-injured that ankle, but he was still on the sideline, so again, hopefully that is not serious. But, I mean, Rodgers getting sacked 5 times in the first half alone. He got sacked once, but he was constantly in the second half, he constantly was getting knocked down. We really need Bakhtiari and Bulaga to come back completely healthy. I don't know if they're going to, Thursday's a short turnaround time. But even if we don't have them back for Thursday, I mean, at least they have an extra week. It's almost like a little early bye week, because they'll have all of next week off. The defense, that first drive was awful. AJ Green just marched down the field on us. That really wasn't too good. Tackling seemed to be a huge problem today, and they got better as the game went on. But holy crap, man. I mean, there was one time in the fourth quarter with Joe Mixon, though, and he was just running through tackles. And we got lucky that the fact that they missed a field goal. Also, Dalton missed a wide open LaFell on a third down play that he should have had as well. So we got lucky. And again, when you start playing better teams, no offense, Bengals, but when you start playing better teams like Falcons, Patriots, Cowboys, Steelers, they're not going to make those same mistakes. So we really need to kind of get into gear here. Rodgers threw his second ever pick six. That was pretty disappointing to see. But after that, they only scored a field goal. So, I mean, the defense did its job. And I have to say, like, I got to give it to them. I was not expecting us to make that stop in overtime, but I'm incredibly happy that they did. King did pretty well against Green. Again, he had a great week against Julio Jones. Now he's going against another amazing wide receiver. He's going against two of the best receivers in the league. And I like this kid. He's a hell of a player. And listen, this is his third game. He's only gonna get better. So I'm really happy about that. Side note, real quick. Watching it on Fox, this is the first time I watched Tony Romo commentate a game because I usually just watch the Packers or the Red Zone. I have to say, I actually at first I was like meh about Romo, but Romo really knows his stuff, and it's kind of cool just to get it from like a quarterback's perspective because he was like, oh, they're gonna run here, and they would run. Oh, they're gonna throw here, and he was gonna throw. So I just thought that was fun. I enjoyed that. I think the problem I have is that I'm still nervous every time the defense is on the field because I just have no faith in them. And I think that's a serious problem. I mean, again, this is the hottest home game in Lambeau Field history, but people were cramping up and I can understand them getting tired, but yeah, I have no faith in them. And again, they looked so amazing against the Seahawks, but getting blown out last week and then getting blown out in the first half too, down 21-7 and down 2 touchdowns. That's not a place you want to be in, but we came out, of the half with a lot of intensity, and you could see the momentum shift over to our team. And that final drive was incredible. Before overtime, because Jordy with an amazing catch, Rodgers with an amazing throw. I thought he was going to get picked again. Overtime did give me some ulcers, but we pulled out a victory, man. It's Rodgers' first overtime win. He's now beaten every single team in the NFL besides the Packers, and that will never change, ever. And it was bad because I was starting to get depressed because I was like, if we lose this game, like, 4 years from now, I mean, hopefully Rodgers is still playing. I don't see why he wouldn't, but like that's the kind of thoughts that run my head. Like he's only going to have like one more chance at this unless they meet in the Super Bowl. But yeah, that was a game. I'm excited. Like I'm dripping in sweat right now. Geronimo Allison, he had a couple drops. He had a couple big drops, but he redeemed himself, especially with that last drive. So good on him for stepping up. And again, I think he's going to turn into a great player as well. Monty, he was okay. Again, he did fine this week, but I've been noticing, I don't know if it's a hesitation that he's having or like the stutter steps, but there was a couple times that he could have gotten 5 or 6 yards and he only actually got like 1 or 2 yards. And I don't know what that was. I didn't see that in the previous games, but it just looked like he hesitated a little bit more this game. It's a quick turnaround for Thursday, so I mean, again, we really just need to be healthy. Hopefully, at least Cobb can play and Bulaga or Bakhtiari. We also need Mike Daniels too, because for a lot of those plays, we did not have any quarterback pressure. So, and then that's against a bad offensive line. So I think the Bears game is going to be super duper competitive. I would not doubt that in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to be curious to see. Mike Glennon pulled out a win. It was most Howard for the overtime win, but I'm wondering when Trubisky's going to come in because I feel like there's already going to start to be, and I'll talk about this with the Bears fan this week, I feel like there's going to be a changing of the guard before the season is over, but we'll see. And then, of course, we had some other great games. Houston almost beat the Patriots, it was very close. The Giants can't win a game because the Eagles' rookie kicker could kick a 61-yarder. So that was good stuff. But this year, this week, excuse me, was obviously surrounded by a lot bigger things than football. Donald Trump making comments over the weekend about referred to Colin Kaepernick or anybody who kneels on the field that those son of bitches should be fired. And so I was very interested to see what was going to happen today. And you saw a number of teams kneeling or 3 teams not even coming out for the national anthem. If they didn't kneel, they were locked in arms. You saw owners locked in arms as well. 3 people alone from the Green Bay Packers sat as well. And I have to say, when Mark Murphy came out yesterday with his statement for the Packers, supporting the fact that his players can protest, you got a lot of backlash. You literally go onto the Packers Facebook page, the Packers Twitter, Aaron Rodgers, his Instagram, and it was filled with some pretty harsh stuff and people saying, I'm not going to be a fan anymore. I'm not going to watch anymore. I could not be prouder of this organization and their response to it. Actually, like the NFL as a whole, in that whether, and I don't mean to be divisive, but it's one of those things that we live in a country where, you talk about the military and it's disrespecting the military. I don't find that it's disrespecting the military, but those people, those soldiers, those veterans are dying for your right to expression, your right to free speech. And so I think that every player has the right to protest the national anthem. And it's not out of spite. It's not because they hate the military. It's because they would like to see changes in their countries, because they're feeling that there are social, cultural, political, systemic issues in this country that are actually ending people's lives. And nobody, whether you're the president of the United States or anybody, gets to take away that right from you. And so with that, I'm incredibly proud of this organization. I'm incredibly proud of the NFL standing up in solidarity, or in this case, kneeling in solidarity. I think it is absolutely their right to do it. So you can hate it all you want. You can think it's disrespectful all you want, but it's not, you don't have the right to take that away from them regardless. And this is interesting because, politics and football, I mean, they've been intermingled for a while. I mean, the fact that we even have the national anthem before a football game, and it's not an Olympic game or anything like that in itself is political. And you have people making peaceful protests, and you're criticized either for marching out in the streets, or you're criticized for peacefully kneeling on the field and you're not hurting anybody. And it gets to a point where you're not criticizing like, oh, it's not an insult to the flag. You just don't want to see it. I can't tell you how many comments that are like, oh, well, I just want to watch some football. I'm not here to see your peaceful protest. Okay, then turn the game off. If you're not going to be a Packers fan anymore because of what the Packers said, I won't miss you. And if you feel that way on the show, I won't miss you either. I mean, that's the truth of it, because you have KKK rallies going on, and guess what? I can't silence them. And it's not my place to. It's not anybody's place to. They want to go out and they want to do and march and protest and do what they got to do. That's their right. And it's their right as well as football players and as athletes, because they're people who actually have opinions and stances to protest as well. So I'm not going to get super duper political in here, but that is my take on it. I think that players should be able to kneel. They should be able to protest in any peaceful way that they deem necessary. And who am I, who are we, who's the president to say that, no, you're not allowed to do that because I disagree with you? That's something that makes this country a great country, that you're able to do that. And I encourage you, whether you agree with it or not, to talk to other people, get different opinions. Don't be locked into an echo chamber, because it's not how you learn. That's not how you experience the world. And so with that, I say fix the problems in this country, and then you won't see people kneel. I mean, if that bothers you that much, go out and make a change. Make a difference. All right, enough of that. Enough of me. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. You can always find me at tomgrossicomedy.com, TOMGROSSI comedy, or Tom Grossi Comedy on Twitter. You can check us out, Packcast, Packast. We're on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play Music. We're on twice a week, every day after the game, and also on Thursdays with our interview with the opposing fans team. Whatever. And then we do our predictions episode, which, God, I butchered those. This is going to hurt my stats this week. But I really appreciate you watching. Let me know what you think. Packers fans, I'm sure you're happy. But let me know what you think about the flag thing, too. I'd love to have a dialogue with you. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.